That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Look, I am telling you, this would be so much better if we had swelling music behind him. No, absolutely not. I swear you government people wouldn't know creativity if it hit you in the face. Fly me to the moon. But not yet. We still have to get to the moon first. And considering the funding is dried up, everything is breaking apart, and Channing Tatum, the launch director for the Apollo missions' patience is wearing thin, it seems we need some help. So who better to help a man on his last nerve than a swindler who excels at manipulation? That's right, Scarlett Johansson plays a marketing director, and she's ready to sell the moon back to America, using all of her devious, underhanded tricks.
355 horses for him, seat belts for the family. Just lucky that my water didn't break in there.
Launch director, being more of an honest guy, really isn't thrilled with the prospect of having someone like her working with them. And he needs to keep his team focused on the task at hand, sending the 3 astronauts to the moon, instead of those silly interviews being set up by Swindler. But is that gonna stop her? Of course not.
Who is that?
For me, this is very personal.
He's got my name.
You told me that your guys don't do interviews, so I had to hire new guys.
Much to launch director's annoyance. But since this is a romance movie, slowly but surely our 2 main characters here will fall in love. And in true romance fashion, we have a big bomb that threatens to tear them apart. The one in this movie being a fake moon landing. Just in case something terribly goes wrong, the government itself is ready to send out a fake moon landing video to the news. And Swindler herself is the one leading this endeavor. So can these 2 people help make it to the moon together? Or will such a big secret be their undoing? If you know anything about rom-coms, you probably know the answer. Doesn't take away from the fact that the comedy in this movie is on point. Myself and several people in my theater were laughing throughout it. The romance portion, though, didn't really work for me. Their relationship felt more like Mike and Sully's from Monsters University. 2 people at odds finally learning to work together. Makes for a good friendship. Not necessarily for the best romance, though. And since we focus more on their relationship throughout the middle of this movie, it makes the middle drag just a little bit for me. The ending itself was fine. It was just Hollywooded up a lot more than it really needed to be, and it just didn't feel like part of the rest of the movie. I mean, you're telling a story about the moon landing, one of the greatest accomplishments in human history. You don't really need to spice it up more, especially considering the surprising amount of heartfelt moments in this movie. They did a great job with launch director and building up his character and getting us to care about him. I know I was rooting for the guy. Swindler, not as much. After all, her whole reason for being at NASA boiled down to, it's a job and I have a deep dark secret that the government is holding over me. But I still enjoyed this movie a lot. And if you like comedies, I would suggest seeing this one.